How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lewis. I've seen a lot of overkill recently of questions flying around about who's going to go to war with who, and I just wanted to make a brief video to put it into reality, I guess you could say. With the recent launching of Tomahawk missiles from the US Navy destroyers based in the Mediterranean Sea to strike Syrian government targets at the Sharat air base near Homs in Syria, many have been asking if this is the start of the United States entering war with Syria or maybe even Russia. The simple answer to that question is quite simply no. While this is certainly the first time that the US targeted the Syrian government directly for the first time since the conflict began back in 2011, it's more a show of strength and deterrence than an act of war. Obama stated back in 2012 that the use of chemical weapons would be crossing a red line and would therefore trigger some form of military response from the United States.
What I'm saying is we're monitoring that situation very carefully. We have put together a range of contingency plans. We have communicated in no uncertain terms with every player in the region that that's a red line for us, and that there would be enormous consequences if we start seeing movement on the chemical weapons front or the use of chemical weapons. That would change my calculations significantly.
Soon after Obama's red line statement, chemical weapons were since used and nothing was done to show the Assad regime that they do not have a blank check when it comes to committing war crimes on such a scale. Essentially after this, a green light was given. The opinion of the Assad regime along with the Russian allies was essentially that the Americans acted too late and were unable to influence the Syrian war in any shape or form. So come present day, in response to the Assad regime using chemical weapons in Syria, Trump also stated that this would cross many lines for him.
Humanity. It crossed a lot of lines for me. When you kill innocent children, innocent babies, little babies, with a chemical gas that is so lethal, people were shocked to hear what gas it was. That crosses many, many lines, beyond a red line, many, many lines.
Soon thereafter, missile strikes were ordered on the airbase from which it is believed the sarin gas attack was launched from. The fact that the Russians were notified this was coming beforehand indeed shows that Putin's backing of the Assad regime may begin to fade, especially when you consider Russia's powerful air defenses in the region, particularly the S-400. Known simply in the West by its NATO reporting name as the Growler, it's created to target US hardware, specifically weapons such as the Tomahawk missile and the like. The cruise missile strikes were in essence Trump's attempt at showing the American people and the world that he is a man of action. And while tensions may grow immensely in the coming weeks, it's unlikely to develop into anything else more than a progression of the proxy war that Russia and the US are currently finding themselves in anyway. While the Syrian civil war progresses and many more die, there can only be a few outcomes. It is possible that Russia and the US come to some sort of agreement where Assad is given a time frame to leave, which would have to be during some transitional period. It's also possible, and unfortunately more likely, that the status quo goes on. Russia continues or even increases its backing for Syria, and likewise the Americans ramp up their attempts to not only destabilize the Syrian government, but also increases its funding and military support for the Kurds in the east, who will at some point have to come into contention with the Syrian government once ISIS is defeated militarily. With how divided Syria is, with multiple factions of different rebel groups, the Syrian government with Russia, Hezbollah and Iran's backing, added on to the fact with the Kurds backed in the east with the United States, and with Turkey in the north with the Free Syrian Army, it's difficult to picture how Syria will ever resolve back to the original country it once was. No one should be in any doubt, this is the Trump administration's first big foreign policy gambit, and it's a big one Obama managed to avoid for many years. That's the end of this video, guys. If you gained anything from it, please go ahead and like it. You can also subscribe if you haven't already for much more like this. Take care, folks, and have a great day.